Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Success Builders. Today we have a very special guest. We have Hamza Baig with us. How are you doing, Hamza?
Hey Ricardo, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on the platform.
Awesome, awesome. So, where are you calling in from?
I'm actually based in Toronto, Canada, so up north.
Awesome. I love Canada, and Canadians are such nice people. So, awesome to have you on the show. Now, we actually met earlier this year. I know Hamza because I came across his TikTok channel actually. It's called Hamza Automates. And he's in the SaaS industry. He's doing AI and automation and providing solutions for small businesses. Um, and I saw his ads and I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. I kind of like this. I want to learn a bit more about this. I've always been in the tech space. So
Mhm.
I kind of like reached out and then connected with him on Facebook. And then I joined his Automation Institute. And yeah, it's kind of like just progressed from there. We've kept in touch, so it's a real honor having you on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. I've been a fan of the show as well. So we've been connected on Facebook. Of course, you post all your episodes here. So every
Yeah,
now and then, whenever I can, I catch some episodes, see some snippets. So I was very interested to being on it.
thank you. And just walk us through a bit about what you do, and then go into your journey of how you came into the automation space. What happened in your life that you found this opportunity, and yeah, just tell us about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of fell into it by accident, which happens to a lot of people that I've met in this space. But I started out typical, upbringing. I went to school here in Canada. I went to McGill in Montreal to study finance. Did a couple internships, realized that this wasn't for me. I wasn't a big fan of the corporate life, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. So out of college, I got sales jobs. That was primarily what I was focused on. I wanted, and I knew that sales was a skill that was going to help me no matter what I went into. So I worked at a couple different startups selling software, so all kinds of software, restaurant tech, maintenance software, anything you can name, right? And then one day, what was happening was I was just scrolling TikTok, similar to what you mentioned, and I saw someone else who was promoting this company, which essentially what it does is it's a CRM software, but it allows you to do something unique, which is called white label it, which means that you can strip it of all of its branding and you can basically put your own name and logo on it. And overnight, essentially, you become the owner of this software. They allow you to basically license it. And there I was selling software for someone else, taking a 10% commission. And then this guy was offering me to get 100% and start my own software company. So to me, this sounded like the best side hustle that I could possibly find. So overnight, I was a software company owner. And then I basically targeted local businesses here who didn't have a CRM. So like think your local plumber or electrician, barbershop, businesses that are relatively small and don't have any sort of technology or infrastructure. I went into them offering this all-in-one suite of CRM tools. We're going to manage your appointments and your leads and your contacts, and it was great. So I built up my clientele locally here in Toronto. And then what happened was at the start of 2023, when ChatGPT came out, all of my clients were like, oh, this is so cool. Have you heard about this? Can we use this in our business? And initially, I wasn't too concerned with it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about this. You can find someone else to handle that for you. But then the demand just kept coming. The requests just kept coming. People were like, I want this AI stuff in my business. And eventually I was like, you know what? I think this makes sense for me to kind of dive into. So I spent the next, month or two just learning everything I could about ChatGPT, mastering it, learning prompt engineering, and basically learning how to control this AI. And then from there, naturally, I started building out chatbots for my clients. So not only did they have a CRM, but now that we're generating them leads, now we can actually have an AI bot that follows up with these leads. So we were doing customer support bots, appointment setting bots. And then what I realized was this is the thing that people wanted the most. It was the stickiest thing that I could offer. It was the highest ticket, and they weren't going anywhere once this bot was created. So eventually I just made the decision where I was like, forget the CRM, let's become an, all-encompassing AI automation agency. And so that's what I've been doing over the past year and a half, specifically working with automation clients only. And I've been able to scale that to a relatively good amount at this stage. What really took off for me is when I started posting content on social media. So I initially started just posting things that I built, so my chatbots and the different automation stuff, in the effort to get more B2B clients. That's all I wanted. I just wanted more businesses to see what I was doing. But that's not what happened. The majority of people that were reaching out to me on my socials were actually individuals like yourself who were like, oh, this is so cool. How can I do this myself? Or I have a business nearby that could really benefit from these AI tools. Can you teach me how to do that? And then I transitioned more so into the education side. So now I run the biggest automation community on Skool. We just passed 15,000 members. And now my focus is kind of split in between the education side, teaching people, while also serving my clients as well. So that's a big overview of kind of what I do. There's a lot more branches to it, but now I'm basically the AI automation guy. Whether you're a business or you're an entrepreneur, I have something that can help you.
That's really awesome. So, just walk us through it. So, I joined you on the automation incubator, right?
Mhm.
And then there are other programs as well that you have. I think
Yeah.
it's Automation Accelerator, and then the Institute is the one with the 15,000 people. Is that right?
So the Automation Institute is the parent company. So that's like the organization that owns these programs.
Right. Okay.
So
Got it.
within the
Yeah.
institute, there's the incubator, there's the accelerator, and then there's a soon to be launched inner circle program, and then some other various small courses. But the institute is the overarching body.
Okay. Cool. And what's the main differences between the incubator and the accelerator?
Yeah, so when I set out, I didn't intend to have all of these different programs, but it just happened out of necessity. So I launched the incubator first initially, and we've grown that to 15,000 members now. But the downside of having so many members is that my resources and my time are limited. I can't provide everyone with that hands-on support and mentorship that they might need to really succeed at this. So then we devised the accelerator program, which was like the next level above where those who are serious out of the 15,000 can join a paid program where they get access to me, they get weekly masterminds, they get more resources, more templates that they can use, as well as other coaches as well. So I wanted this to be the best program on the market. So I brought in other automation agency owners and coaches from around the world, one in Sydney actually. And so we brought them in. Now we've devised this more advanced program. And then the levels will just keep increasing from there. So the inner circle will be very close hand holding, helping you achieve your goals. We're going to include a lot of personal branding and, hands-on mentorship in that, but that's soon to be launched. The accelerator is just one step above at this stage.
Okay, awesome. And just also for the viewers, I'm just going to clarify a few terms. So SaaS and CRM. So CRM is customer relationship management software, right? So that is the white
Yeah.
labeling system that you talked about earlier, right? SaaS is software as a service. So you basically are selling white label solutions. Um, and speaking of SaaS, you actually got a SaaSprenuer award recently, didn't you? Tell us a bit
Yeah,
about that.
absolutely. Yes, I did. So the company that I white label the software from, the actual owners of the CRM, they're quite a big company. So they're called GoHighLevel. And they've got about 30 to 50,000 agencies who are doing this as well all across the world. And the agencies that are the top performers, the ones that are doing very well with their software, they love to, give out awards and reward them for what they've done with the space. So I was recently invited to Dallas last week to receive my SaaSprenuer award, my platinum award, which is if you have over 500 or over clients. And then the one step above that is the diamond award, which I hope to get next year. But yeah, it was a great honor. I got to meet all the founders. They, congratulating me and, helping me put out my story and the mission that we're doing with the Institute. So it was a great platform, great experience. The company itself is fantastic. They just raised another $50 million and, their valuation, God knows what it is, but I think they're definitely a unicorn at this stage. So it's a great platform. I'm very happy that they're backing me and I'm looking forward to working with them for the foreseeable future.
That's so cool. And congratulations on receiving those awards. I know you
Thank
sent
you.
me some photos. I got to see you on stage receiving the awards. Very cool. I like it. Yes, I know that guy.
Yeah, it
Cool.
was a surreal experience. Yeah.
Yeah, no, awesome. And tell me, so for businesses, small business, medium business, what do you think the future outlook is like? How and how important do you think AI and automation is?
Yeah, I think at this point it's non-negotiable. I think it's essential for every business out there. If you want to remain competitive over the next 1 to 5 to 10 years, then AI is something that you seriously have to consider. Because even if you're not, your competitors are. And whoever can leverage it the best and implement it into their business is going to succeed. We just recently launched a new product where we're doing voice agents for restaurants. So all order taking and all communications for restaurants will now be handled by AI voice agents. That's something that, 6 months ago was not ready, but now we've got it pretty much mapped out. It's fantastic. It works really well. So the speed that these innovations are happening is so astronomical that you can't afford to not be up to date or informed or implementing these into your business because you will be left behind. The future is definitely going to be AI employees to some extent. Right now, it's more like a hybrid where it's like a human that's going to monitor the AI to make sure it's doing its job correctly. But they're definitely going to become autonomous where they can fully just do the job on their own, 24/7, 365 days a year, no vacations, no sick pay, and pay a fraction of what an employee costs. From the eyes of a business owner and a shareholder, it's an absolute no-brainer to implement these AI employees. And if you want to be well positioned, then you need to learn how to basically implement them the best you can.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds so interesting. And now heard online in the space that basically online marketers who've previously had teams of like 75 people are downscaling to just two people and be able to 10x their productivity to get back to the original workforce they had using AI and automation. Um, and that sounds like at first it sounds like a scary thought. It sounds like, well, that means a lot of jobs are going to be lost. But in
Yeah.
the same breath, a small agency or a solopreneur can actually start a business and 10x what they're able to produce using AI agents. So it also creates opportunity. So as much as it
Yeah.
takes away opportunity, it also gives opportunity in a different sector. So we're going to probably see a shift from um, workers to entrepreneurs, where there's going to be a lot more entrepreneurs working in specific niches rather than people working for companies, which was the
Yeah.
traditional business model. Um, so it's what's kind of like known as the post-labor society. Um, yeah. Or even post-scarcity society, as if you watch Star Trek. Um, um, yeah. Which are the most popular types of automations, or rather, should I say, which businesses are the ones that are adopting automation more readily than others at the moment?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And just to go back to your point, I 100% agree with you that that is the direction that we're heading to. I think that's a big proponent of what we teach at the Institute, where it's opportunity identification. Because once you know what these tools are able to do, your job after that is really just to find out what the applications are in the real world. Like if you talk to business owners and you just look around, you're going to see opportunities everywhere. But the real skill is knowing where you can fit yourself in. And a lot of people don't like to say that, yeah, AI is going to take away jobs. But I do say that. I want to make that very clear that it will, because, you shouldn't be lying to yourself. You need to start preparing yourself for the future that's coming. And it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen before. So that's why I'm a big proponent in pushing this technology forward. And there's a lot of businesses out there, to answer your question, that are forward thinking. So one part-time thing that I do with the platform that I have is a lot of business consulting. So we go into an organization, it could be any kind of organization, and we basically do training for their employees where, a group of five in a certain department can now get the output of a group of 15 or 20. So we help them 2x, 3x, 4x their output using Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT, all these other tools, which the common person, you and I might be more advanced with using these things because we're so used to it on a daily basis. But the common person isn't spending time researching what these tools can do and how it actually applies to their job. So if someone like me can walk into your organization and completely blow your mind that you can do your job, what takes you 8 hours and 40 minutes, that's a massive game changer. And that's really what I do. And I'm pretty agnostic with the businesses that I work with. I think across every industry, the top players are always forward thinkers, otherwise they wouldn't be where they are. Working with small local businesses, the appointment-based ones, the service providers, they're the ones that need the most help. There's oftentimes the ones that are the most resistant to change. So I feel like they're going to have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. But I work with all kinds of businesses. It's really the owners and the management that makes the difference. The ones that are forward thinking, that see what's going on. Those are the ones that I like to work with. But there's really no industry that's better suited for this than the other.
Right, right. No, no, that's cool. Could you walk us through also now the automation incubator, right? As far as I understand it, it's a platform and a community for people who want to learn how to become SaaSpreneurs and who want to learn how to have their own automation and AI agency. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's designed to take a complete beginner, someone who has no experience with software, with running an agency, with building automations, take a complete beginner and transform them into someone that's either an automation operator, SaaSpreneur, agency owner. The path you decide to take is completely up to you. I have individuals in the program who are making, more than $5,000 a month as a single individual. But then I've also got people who've built their own teams of like 10, 15, 20 people. So it's up to you the path you want to take. I simply provide you with the tools and the knowledge to actually fulfill client work and also how to find clients as well. Whatever you do in the middle is completely up to you, but I think the education and awareness is the most important part. So I teach them how to use my SaaS platform, how to build automations within it, how to connect to other tools as well. Because a lot of the jobs you're going to go to, especially if you're dealing with small local businesses, is they have their own system set up that they've been using for the past 20 years. Your job is to integrate within their current ecosystem and achieve the outcomes that they want, which is not always an easy thing to do. So we provide the resources and the training, and if you need it, the support in the implementation as well inside the incubator. So I'm there to support everyone in there. We've seen fantastic results. I'm not sure how often you get a chance to look in there, but we get wins every single day of regular people who are like, I'm not technical at all. I've never run a business in my life, but I
Yeah.
just spoke to this local restaurant near me and I just closed a deal for $500 a month. And I get messages every day about, thank you so much for introducing this to me. You've changed my life, this and that. So it's great. It's a great feeling and it's very fulfilling for me as well.
That's awesome. And I do see you in your socials and how passionate you are about it, and how passionate you are about helping people, and that's what actually drew me to you. I mean, you have a real genuine interest in helping others, and that is quite rare to see. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate everything you do. Um,
Absolutely. I found that passion for it very early on, and it just happened by accident. Like I was saying in the beginning, I was just posting videos because I wanted more clients. I never intended to teach anyone, but they were just so appreciative. I saw the impact that I was making, and it was just far more scalable. Like I've impacted, at this stage, hundreds of thousands of people just through the content and the impressions that I've gotten, which is a reach that's unattainable unless you're really pushing towards something big like this. So I'm very happy with what I'm doing, and I'm glad it resonates with yourself and other people watching too.
yeah, it must do. I mean, your TikTok has got about 40,000 followers the last time I checked. It's
My
pretty
my
huge.
TikTok has yeah, my TikTok has 40,000 and my Instagram's actually bigger now. It has about
Oh, yeah?
60,000. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure if I've connected with you on Instagram. I've connected you on
Yeah.
TikTok and Facebook. But yeah, no, that's pretty huge. And do you have any advice for anyone starting out on those social platforms on what they can do to expand to that sort of audience reach?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very big into social media. I think everybody should be personal branding. It's probably the best way that you can differentiate yourself. The way that I looked at it is everything I try and do, whether it's business or content, is I try and be unique with it. I want to basically put out stuff that no one's ever seen before, because for me, that's the only way that they're going to stop and watch my stuff. A lot of people give the advice that, just see what's working, find out the top trends, and then just make your own version of that. I don't think that's good advice. I don't think that's going to work because people are just going to watch the original. I don't think your spin on that is going to be enough to really, you know, reach the masses if you want to reach like, the millions and, have great impressions. So for me, the content that I made is things no one's ever seen before. These flowcharts on short form content was never done by anyone else. And that's why I got the overnight virality that I did. But I had to spend time coming up with something that no one had seen before. And I was experimenting and trying a bunch of different things, but that was my main objective. Because even with my community, I call it an incubator. I don't call it a community with my, agency. It's not just a Go High Level SaaS agency. It was an AI automation agency. Everything I do is unique because I want it to be relatable to me. When you think of automation agencies, I want you to think of myself. I could have easily, branded myself as a Go High Level reseller or SaaSpreneur, but there's dozens and hundreds of those on YouTube. But there's only one of what I do, right? So if you really want to be serious about this and you've got to find your own angle, you've got to sit down and you've got to brainstorm and really come up with what has no one seen before and where can I fit into that? And the other big thing for me is that when you are creating content and you are editing it and you're designing it, always in your mind have, would I stop and watch this video? Because a lot of people put out content that they themselves wouldn't even watch, and they expect other people to. I think that's a big thing about it as well. Have the right mentality where if I watch my own video, would I genuinely watch this the full way through? And if I wouldn't, then it's not a good video. Then start again and make it more entertaining, make it more attention grabbing, whatever you want to do. But there's these little strategies and tactics that I've learned over time, and I'm going to put that together into a nice personal branding course and then put that into our inner circle program.
That's really cool. What you're talking about is basically authenticity. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people lose their personal identity because they're just trying to copy somebody else or
Yeah.
see someone that's popular and want to emulate that and think that that's the way to go. But you've shown otherwise. You've shown that just being yourself and following your passions and just doing stuff that you like,
Yeah.
it, you'll actually resonate with other people who are like you, and then you'll attract those people because, hey, seems like there's another 60,000 people out there who are just like you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You'd be surprised. And authenticity is a big one for me as well. Like, if you see the tonality and my mindset for all of my videos, it's never, I know better than you. I'm the expert in this space. You should listen to what I'm saying. It's always just, this is what's worked for me. Here's what I did. I'm documenting my process. It's up to you if you want to follow it or not, but it does work. So, make your own decision. That's what people like, and it's relatable. And it's like, okay, he's just a regular dude like you and I. And, I can follow his steps that way. So I get a lot of messages just speaking to my authenticity and how I come across in the videos, which I try and maintain as best as I can.
That's awesome to see. And thank you for being such an inspiration in the automation space. Um, I don't know why I was drawn to you, but I just really liked what you're putting out and the vibe and the information. So yeah, that's why I started following you, and everything came full circle. And now you're sitting on my podcast, which is really fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So what I'm going to do is in the description of this video, I'm going to place some links on how the viewers can get in touch with you and also how they can sign up to your SaaS software, and we'll give a discount code as well. So yeah, there'll be all the different ways that you can be contacted on, and also links to your TikTok as well, and Instagram. I'll go and find that one, and yeah, everything's going to be there. So one-stop shop for all info related to Hamza will be in the description. So yes, just as a final parting note, what would you like to leave with the audience as a final thought?
Yeah, it just goes back to my initial message where like things are changing. I'm sure everyone's aware at this stage. Like I don't want to be the guy who keeps having to repeat that. And I don't consider it fear mongering because I do consider it something that's serious and like a reality. But if you're not already informing yourself, if you're not spending time, at least 30 minutes a day researching the new AI tools that are coming out and what they can do and messing around with ChatGPT and building cool stuff, then I think you're really doing yourself a disservice and your future self is going to suffer out as a result. The winners over the next 5 to 10 years are all going to be AI and automation related. They're going to be the ones that know how to bend the will of the AI to whatever they want to achieve. And you can definitely be that person. I think a lot of people are worried about that there's a technical barrier to entry, but I'm telling you, and I promise you that there isn't. My background is in finance. I've never written a line of code. Everything that we do with AI is written in plain English, and we use drag and drop builders. It's very simple. So seriously, don't sit on it. Take action, and I guarantee you, your future self will reap the rewards of this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for being on the show. Really loved having you. All right, everyone, please go onto the links and check it out and make sure that you get up to speed with what's happening in the AI and automation industry because that is our future, whether we like it or not. And remember to always dream big and build bigger. Until next time, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you all.